Welcome back. Today I'm taking a look at the brand new Nitecore MT2C PRO. Let's check this out. Now, at the time of recording this video, this flashlight hasn't been released yet. So Nitecore sent this to me, just the body, nothing else, no box, not even a battery. So hopefully by the time I release this video, this flashlight will be available for purchase on the Nitecore website. Honestly, I just don't know, but I do know this flashlight will come with the light itself, a battery, a USB Type-C charging cable, a lanyard, and a spare O-ring. I just have none of that to show you except for the flashlight itself. So I had to supply my own battery for this, and it's not going to be the exact battery it comes with. That battery is going to be a Nitecore NL1836R 18650 battery. That's a 3600 milliamp hour battery and will have a USB Type-C charging port right on the outside of it. Or you can use two CR123s or two RCR123 batteries, but that will affect the performance. And I'm starting out this video telling you all this because this honestly could affect the performance of this flashlight. I'm not 100% sure. This is the battery I've been using though, a 3500 milliamp hour, 3.6 volt 18650, a Phoenix branded battery. And Nitecore recommends you use a 6 amp or higher battery in the MT2C PRO, otherwise it just won't work. The MT2C PRO has a maximum lumen output of 1800 lumens and maximum throwing distance of 520 meters and a max intensity of 67,000 candela. So this is a bright, super small, compact flashlight. So that 1800 lumens and 520 meters of throw is a big upgrade from the previous Nitecore MT2C. I don't have that flashlight to compare it to, but I know the specs, 390 lumens and 168 meters of throw. So what a huge upgrade here with the Pro version. That is insane. And now let me give you guys a look right down the barrel there at that single Night Lab UHI 20 LED. And it sits back fairly far within that reflector. That is a smooth reflector, and this glass right here is an optical lens with a crystal coating. Now Nitecore is considering this a tactical flashlight. The exact term they're using is high output compact tactical flashlight. Do I consider this a tactical flashlight? Not at all. First off, there is no crenellated bezel right here. You can see it's just a smooth, rounded bezel. So that's one thing I look for in my tactical flashlights. Another thing is a strobe feature, and this does not have strobe. So I'm not really sure why they're considering this a tactical flashlight. Why? Because it's black? I don't know. The only thing I would consider tactical on the MT2C PRO here is the rear tail switch right here and the ability to go instantly to that 1800 lumens. Because this UI is pretty simple. It's just low and high, and it always goes to that 1800 lumen high. That is insanely bright for this small flashlight. And I'm not sure if you saw that on my desk, but that is a very intense, very focused hotspot. There you go. If I lift it farther from my desk, you can start to see that hotspot. I'll show you what I'm talking about when I take this outside and do the beam test a little bit later on. But the beam is extremely focused. You're going to get a nice crispy hotspot. And like I said, only two brightness levels: low, which is 50 lumens, and high, which is 1800 lumens. And now I'll give you a close-up of this body here. That is an aluminum alloy body with a Type 3 hard anodized finish. Typical Nitecore quality here. Everything feels very nice, very high quality. Nitecore has some of the nicest feeling flashlights out there, in my opinion. Right there in the middle of the body, you can see that texturing gives it some nice grip when you're holding it in your hands. And speaking of holding it in your hands, so if you're holding it overhand, you can see just how small this flashlight is. I can get all my fingers on there, but look where my forefinger and thumb are resting. So if you turn the flashlight on and hold it overhand and you're in high, your fingers are going to get very, very hot. And I'll demonstrate that when I do my heat and turbo test a little bit later on. This head gets really, really hot. But if you hold it underhand, the way you're supposed to hold this flashlight, you should be completely fine, because you see where my fingers are right there? They're just below that ridge that begins the head. So it doesn't get too hot right there. Basically, it starts getting hot about right here and up. And I really like what Nitecore has done with their pocket clips. This deep carry pocket clip always lends down. This one is removable, but it's not easily removable. It's not a split ring pocket clip. But like I said, I really like this pocket clip from Nitecore. It just feels really nice and comfortable when it's in your pockets. You can just easily take it out of your pocket. There's no lip or anything like that that's stopping you at the end, which I hate. You can see it's just straight down, swoops out. I like it. And now that single tail switch right there is rubberized with some texturing. Nitecore always has really nice, high quality feeling buttons as well. And it is a clicky switch. You can hear that. So fully pressed, it does make a click. Like I said, it does feel very, very nice. And this is something fairly new for Nitecore. They call this a rim guard. And that rim guard sticks up over that tail switch. So yes, you can tail stand this, which is a big plus in my book, but it looks to me just like a bunch of long lanyard holes, as you can see right there. But rim guard, whatever you guys want to call it, I like it because you can tail stand it, so that is a great feature. And I already showed you what battery I'm using in this, the Phoenix 3500 milliamp hour battery. Just so you know, I did try it with this Chloris 3100 milliamp hour battery. This a 3.6 volt. And yes, this one works too, but just so you guys know, I tried this with a flat top 18650 and it does not work with a flat top battery. It has to be a button top battery such as these two, and this is the reason right here. No spring, and down here at the tail, there is a spring. So it's a single spring system for the battery, but once again, you have to use a button top 18650 for this to work. And the last thing I want to talk about before I move on to the Lumens and Runtime is the IP rating. It is IP68 dust and waterproof, which is fantastic. The 6 means it's completely dust proof, and the 8 means it's submersible in up to 6 feet of water. And it also has a 2-meter impact resistance. So if you drop this bad boy, most likely it'll survive, as long as you're not tossing this off a roof or something silly like that. And I said I had one more thing before I started talking about the Lumens and Runtime. Well, I lied. But this truly is the last thing before we get to that, the dimensions of the MT2C PRO. It comes in at 4.63 inches and has a head diameter of 1.06 inches. And now let's weigh it really quick. All right, so it comes in at 66 grams. That is 2.3 ounces, but there is no battery in it. If I put the battery that I've been using on there, that comes in at 4 ounces, and in grams, 114 grams. All right, so the Lumens and Runtime is going to drastically change based on what battery you are using. If you're using the Nitecore NL1836R lithium-ion battery, the stock battery that it comes with, you're going to get 1800 lumens on high and 50 lumens on low. Going back to that 1800 lumens, you're going to get a 2-hour and 15-minute runtime. And on low, you can get 28 hours of runtime there. Going right down the list, 520 meters of throw on high versus 95 meters of throw on low. 67,000 candela on high, 2200 candela on low. So that's using the 18650 battery. Now, if you switch to 2 RCR 123 batteries, you can see how drastically it changes everything. Let's go right across. High, 800 lumens, 1 hour and 30-minute runtime, and a 350 meter throw, 29,500 candela, and on low, 50 lumens, so that basically stays the same, but the runtime is only 12 hours. Same throw at 95 meters and the same candela at 2200. And then if you're using 2 CR123 batteries, high is 800 lumens, has a runtime of 2 hours and 45 minutes. So that went way up from the RCR123. That's crazy. Same throwing distance at 350 and the same candela at 29,500. And then low, 50 lumens, 20-hour runtime, 95 meters of throw, and 2200 candela. So based on which battery you plop in this thing, it's going to be a drastically different flashlight. And the UI couldn't be any simpler. Just half press that tail switch for high and then for low. And if you want to lock in either one of these modes, just fully press that in, clicks in, and then there's your constant lighting output. But I should say it always starts out in the high mode. So if you let it rest for about 5 seconds, it'll always go back to that 1800 lumen high. So that's been about 5 seconds, push the button back in again, it goes right back to high. The only way to switch it is if you press that button within a couple seconds. So you can see high, low, let it go for about 5 seconds, press it in again, and you're always going to go back to that 1800 lumen high. So just be aware of that. No special modes, no strobe, no SOS, or no beacon. And as far as I know, there is no button press lockout. So the only way to lock this out is to give the head about a quarter turn and then locks out the flashlight. And I've tried a bunch of different ways to lock this flashlight out. As far as I know, there isn't any other than twisting the head. All right, now it's time for my not so scientific heat and turbo test. Here I let the flashlight run for 2 minutes, and then I take its temperature at the head and the body after 1 minute, and then after 2 minutes. After 1 minute at the head, it rose to 124 degrees Fahrenheit, and at the body, it was 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Now that's not crazy. I know it rose a little bit higher. I think it was 127 if I remember correctly. But then it started dropping after about 30 seconds because somewhere in there that step down happened. It wasn't pushing out that full 1800 lumens anymore, so it kept dropping when it hit that 1 minute mark. And then after 2 minutes, it dropped a couple degrees at the head to 122, and then it rose a little bit at the body to 105 degrees Fahrenheit. So overall, the temperature at the body is decent. So if you're carrying this underhand, I don't think you're going to have any issues at all with the heat. But if you hold it overhand, just be aware that head is right around 124, 25, 26 degrees Fahrenheit. And regarding the turbo step down, when I'm doing the test, I'm holding the thermal camera so I don't really see it, but it was a hard step down this time. And it was right around 30 seconds, but I'll put up the exact time right now on the screen when it started to step down and when it ended that step down. All right, let's do the beam test. Pretty dark out here right now. It's going to start in high, but I'm going to switch it to low. Let's start at low. Right there. So here's low. 50 lumens, 95 meters of throw. And you can see that nice focused, crispy hot spot right there. Cool white beam. Definitely hitting that barn over there. I'll put up the distance between me and that barn, so you can see how I'm hitting that. Pretty nice, actually. And then me and that tree. Not a problem at all with that tree. But even though it's a pretty focused beam, the spill is decent. That beam profile there, nice evenly spread spill, and I'm not sure if you guys can hear that airplane, but bear with me. I live near an airport. Always airplanes flying overhead, and I don't want to flash that airplane either. I almost did. I don't know why. I don't know why I just did that, but I almost did. Anyways, so let's move on from that 50 lumen high. And there's the, wow, 1800 lumen high mode. I don't even know what I just said. We're moving on from low to high. There we go. That plane's got me all distracted. But it is I wouldn't really call this a floodlight. It's more of a thrower. I mean, 520 meters of throw, you can see. Hitting that, no problem. Hitting those trees back there, no problem. And if I hold, look at that beam. Nice focused beam. There's a nice shot of it right there. Fantastic. But I know we're not going to get long with this 1800 lumens. Are those deer back there? I don't see the deer at all. But gives you guys a nice idea of what this beam looks like at 1800 lumens. I'm just really impressed with the throw and the candela that comes out of this fairly small compact body here. I mean, this is a small flashlight. It's a perfect size for everyday carry for me. And I really don't like such a focused beam in my EDC flashlights. I like them to be more of a flood, evenly spread beam. But the body itself and the UI, the simple low and high, I absolutely love for everyday carry flashlights. So let's move on to another part of my yard here. So I think the MT2C Pro here is impressive. This small, tiny, compact body with 1800 lumens and 520 meters of throw. When I was testing this out last night, it was pitch black in my yard. Just one press of that button and it just lit up everything. 67,000 candela in that hotspot. Like I said, it's impressive. So if you're looking for somewhat of a small, compact throwing flashlight, this is your guy. Now, before you guys say anything, I know 520 meters isn't crazy. I keep saying thrower. It's not like this can throw a mile or anything like that, like some of the flashlights that I have right behind me. But still, 520 meters is well above the average throwing distance for most flashlights. So for its size, yeah, I'm going to consider this a compact thrower. And speaking of the size, I think this size is perfect for everyday carry, especially with this deep carry pocket clip. Fits very nicely in my pockets. Super simple UI, just low and high. I do have a problem though with it always going to high. I wish it didn't do that. If anything, I wish it would go to low first and then to high. And if you're not going to give us that, give us the ability to change that. Program it where I don't want it to always start on high. I want it to start on low. I can do some button press combination with a twist of the head. There you go. Now it switches from low to high. And if it'll do that with the official release of this flashlight, I don't know. I don't have the user manual. And I've tried every single combination that I knew. It just doesn't work. The same thing with that lockout mode. If it has a lockout mode, I don't know. So I just, boop. Done. Plus, there's no way to charge the battery from the outside of the flashlight. And honestly, I go back and forth on this all the time. I can definitely see the advantages of just having a completely sealed body such as this. And with a flashlight this size, I would consider this more an everyday carry flashlight than a tactical flashlight. And in that situation, I sort of want the USB Type-C charging port on the outside. But that's just me. Some of you guys might consider this a tactical style flashlight. I'm not considering this a tactical style flashlight. The only thing tactical about this flashlight is it's all black and it goes instantly to high when you push in that tail switch. No crenellated striking bezel and no strobe means no tactical flashlight in my opinion. But do I like this flashlight? Absolutely, I like this flashlight. I can see myself reaching for something this size over something much larger any day. And I wish I can tell you guys what the price is going to be on this. I just don't know yet. So hopefully by the time this video releases, I'll have all that information and I'll put it in the description box below. But at the time of recording this video, I have no idea what the cost is on this bad boy. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you think of the Nitecore MT2C Pro? If you have the original MT2C, are you going to upgrade? I think you should. This is a huge, huge upgrade. At least on paper. I never had that flashlight, but on paper, yeah, it's a huge upgrade. If you want to check this out for yourself, I will have links down below in my description box, hopefully. But if you did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe. And go!